Now, today is World Blood Cancer Day. By 2035, it's expected that blood cancer will be the leading cancer in terms of diagnosis and mortality among Australians. That's only 10 years away. But most people don't know the signs to look out for. Early diagnosis could increase your chance of survival by up to 40%, so it's extremely important we all know the signs. Bill Stavrevsky is the head of blood cancer research at the Leukaemia Foundation, and he joins me on the line right now. Bill, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mark, and good morning to your 2GB listeners.
Wonderful to catch up with you, Bill, and thank you for joining us on this World Blood Cancer Day. Let's start with the signs. What are the signs of blood cancer?
Yeah, there's quite a number of signs, but the common ones include fatigue that doesn't go away, also frequent infections, unexplained bruising, unexplained weight loss, so even if you're not dieting or exercising but losing weight, and swollen lymph nodes, usually around the neck, groin and armpit region.
So and as far as rates of diagnosis, what are those rates we're seeing in the community at the moment, Bill?
Yeah, last year, more than 20,000 Australians were diagnosed with a blood cancer, and the bad news is that's up 80% over the last 2 decades. And you did mention just earlier that by 2035 it will be the leading and most common cancer amongst Australians, and that's something we really want to change and impact. And knowing the signs and symptoms is the first and quickest way to make sure you're on the path to a positive and good recovery.
You'll have to excuse me, Bill, if this is a stupid question, because I don't know a lot about blood cancer, but are there certain age groups that should be more alert to signs than others? Does it affect more older Australians, younger Australians? What do the stats tell you?
Mark, it's definitely not a silly question. It's one that very few Australians are aware of, and part of our campaign and the reason for it is blood cancer is actually the most common cancer amongst kids, but also quite prevalent amongst adults, and particularly older Australians. So it does affect all Australians, irrespective of age and gender. And for that reason, in knowing these signs and symptoms, is important to make sure that you or your loved one has the best chance of overcoming a blood cancer diagnosis.
And once diagnosed, Bill, what is the prognosis like for those sufferers when it comes to blood cancer?
It does vary across the different blood cancers, but thankfully over the last 5 to 10 years, survival rates have increased significantly, so in a much better position now than what we were 10, 20 years ago. A lot more therapies, less toxic therapies as well, so improving recovery and how quick people get back onto their feet. So, but it still does vary, and what we are really trying to get the message across is the quicker you can get diagnosed, the better your chances. So please don't ignore any of those signs or symptoms. If you think you might be experiencing one of those, please go and see your GP.
And it's that simple, is it, Bill? Just go and see your GP if you're concerned, ask those questions and get the relevant tests?
Very much. It's a simple blood test. Your GP will ask you to go have a blood test, and look, if it comes back as nothing more than some of those signs and symptoms can mimic other conditions. It's either peace of mind that look, it's not blood cancer, but if it is, unfortunately, it really does ensure you have the best chances of overcoming it.
And one last one, Bill. While I've been hosting this program here on 2GB, I'm constantly amazed about the work that's being done in medical science in a whole range of different areas. Where are we at when it comes to blood cancer research and some of the methods that are being used to firstly diagnose but also treat blood cancer? Have we come along in leaps and bounds as the technology improves?
Very much, and it's great news that Australia is actually leading the way. Some of the biggest breakthroughs in treatments have been generated by Australian researchers and clinicians, as well as with diagnostic tools, much quicker turnarounds, and importantly, the treatments. There's a lot more treatments, less toxic, which is great for patients. But as Australian researchers, and it's no surprise, we are really leading the world in this area.
Fantastic. Well, Bill, well done to you on the work that you're doing. More information, bloodcancer.org.au for our listeners. World Blood Cancer Day, and hopefully our conversation today might alert people to they may be suffering symptoms from this. They can go and speak to their GP, and who knows, we could potentially save a life with these really important conversations. Thanks for the work you do, Bill, and thanks for your time as always. Thank
you, Mark, and a wonderful morning to your listeners.
And to you too. That's Bill Stavrevsky, Head of Blood Cancer Research at the Leukaemia Foundation. That website again, bloodcancer.org.au. Just for